Did you know that Ethiopia is the only African country to never be colonised? Ethiopia being seen as a symbol for African freedom, as well as the last Ethiopian king Haile Selassie's influence in Jamaica, has been the foundation of the Rastafari movement.
Did you know that Ghana ranked the most peaceful country in Africa according to the Global Peace Index?
Did you know that the only Australian chapter of the African American Black Panther Party was established by Aboriginal people in the early 1970s?
Did you know that South Sudan is the world's youngest nation? It gained its independence from Sudan in July 9th, 2011. It is also the home for the world's tallest athletes. Athletes like Manute Bol and Lual Deng.
Did you know Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to gain independence post-colonialism on March the 6th, 1957?
Did you know that there are many Australian South Sea Islander families with heritage out of Vanuatu that can trace their last names to countries in Africa? Names such as Tambo, Nauru, Malamu and Togo can be traced to countries out of West, South and East Africa.
Did you know that Somalia has the world's largest camel population and that there are more than 46 words to refer to camel?
Hi, my name is Fasika and welcome to another episode of Say It Loud. As Black people, we have a long history of suffering, of oppression, of being silenced, being taught that we are less than or strange. Even today, we struggle against the remnants of slavery and colonialism that ravaged our continent, and all around the world we are seen as the other. And amongst all of this, it is often easy to forget our strengths. It's easy to forget our strengths, our heritage, and most of all, our resilience. You'd be hard-pressed to find a group of people that can bounce back from pain the way that we have. And we've fiercely faced every challenge that we've been presented with, and we've overcome so many obstacles. Time and again, we have proven that Black is strong, Black is beautiful, Black is smart, and Black is cool. Well, here with me today on the panel to discuss this topic, on my far right, I've got Shola, I've got the beautiful Kaiya, we've got Chris over here, Vanessa, Ring, and the lovely Idil. So Shola, I'd like to start with you. Thinking about how Blackness is perceived all around the world, do you think that being Black is considered cool everywhere?
Yeah, I would consider, particularly in Western culture, I would say that just given how long kind of Black culture has existed in most Western countries, particularly here in Australia, but most of all out of the United States, it's more or less penetrated every facet of popular culture in the West, from music to entertainment to sport, to music and television. So in that sense of of what's popular and and kind of what's trending, I guess as Black people we know very well that kind of in the ways of hip hop and sport, that we kind of draw a lot of attention, whether we're actually involved in that or not, because it is so popular in the Western world right now. I probably wouldn't say so much in other Asian countries. I mean, I haven't actually been to any of those countries, so I can't speak from first-hand experience. But I just know, from cases that pop up that they don't so much kind of respect the Black cultures as much as they do in the West. So I don't know if you guys have seen the example of I think it's like a Japanese. Chinese. It's a Chinese like detergent. The commercial where they're kind of like chucking a black guy into a washing machine and literally washing the black off of him. I mean, the fact that was something that even went to air, when over here, if it was even pitched, that person would probably be shot. Kind of just reflects kind of the disregard that they have for, even just general race relations and, kind of Black culture in general. So,
if I may just add as well, like recently it was in the news in CNN where young students, Africans in India, were harassed, and a lot of them actually people just come touch them inappropriately to see whether they were just being dirty and things like that. So the disrespect is just quite pervasive and it's really wide out there in Southeast Asia, and it's something that really need to be tackled at the country's level.
And it just reminded me, I remember when the Star Wars movie came, and I remember when it was being the advertisement for the Asian countries had erased Lupita from the posters, and it just shows. I'm thinking, why? She's a prominent figure in the movie, but it just shows, that there's not such acceptance there, or they don't even think that they will accept, such a iconic figure or actress.
That makes sense now. I was at the airport and this Asian boy and girl were just like, "Can I take a picture with you?" And I had no idea what was going on, and I took it.
No, what? I take like 3 pictures a week. Quite literally, from I don't know, Asian tourists. I don't know how long they've even been here for. But yeah, they do tend to take a lot of pictures with me. But that being said, I don't know. It might be a little bit different here with maybe Asian or people of Asian descent that actually live here. It might be a little bit different. They might have a little bit of respect, because I know that they do have over here at least, I have a deep appreciation for black culture, especially basketball. I play basketball, and Asians love basketball.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It might be a little bit different than it is over in the original countries.
All right, great. So Kaiya, going off of what Shola said about African American culture being increasingly seen as cool, do you think that this prominence of black culture, especially in African American culture, has aided our fight against oppression?
Yeah, to a certain degree, I think it has. I would have to agree with Shola. It is probably pretty evident that black culture, whatever that is now a prominent, popular culture phenomena. But the flip side of it, it seems to perpetuate more of the negative stereotypes. I think that's a big issue that we have. The misappropriation of black culture is something that's seen in a number of areas, but it's almost like they love black culture, but not the black people and the black struggle, or when it gets real. So I think it's it's good and bad.
Right. So Ring, going off of what Kaiya said about the misrepresentation of black people, do you feel that because of our current prominence in sport and music and popular culture, that black representation has overshadowed our participation in science or literature?
If you look also in the area of sport, the acceptability isn't that really quite well perceived, because of the stereotype that exists and also the racism that exists. It's something that quite really entrenched in cultures, and obviously even when scholars do well academically, or when they come up with a discovery, you don't see them actually. People have an interest to interview them, or perhaps for them to be given patents for what they have discovered. A good example: there was a gentleman in the United States who discovered actually cure for AIDS. And he wasn't given a patent for that reason. And subsequently, that gentleman ended up just dying. He was just end up dead, basically, because he had this huge discovery. And he's been fighting for quite a little while to get patent for his discovery. So, I mean, we are appreciated for our masculinity and also being athletics and also anything that really associated with power. We really, there's a perception there. But beyond that, I think it's something that we have to work on. We need to come out from our shadows and actually advocate for us to be recognized for our academic work, scholarly work, and also scientific work.
So Chris, coming from a mixed race background, do you think that growing up your black side was often seen as edgy or cool?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, growing up, in a predominantly white school, because I am mixed race, so, I'm not, I guess, as dark as, say, Shola or Ring. I did get, I guess, sort of, a lot of people thought I was actually American, like African American and whatnot, and obviously with the stereotypes that has, I guess people sort of naturally thought that I was cool.
Yeah.
People think I'm American too.
So Vanessa, with the Kardashians being at the forefront of a lot of popular culture and a lot of media these days, do you think that black culture is being ripped off, or there's an instance of cultural appropriation with a lot of these celebrities?
Definitely. I remember reading a magazine, or I was online or something, and seeing them quote cornrows as a new trend. And when they saw Kim Kardashian rocking it, and
they called them boxer braids?
And they called it boxer braids. They could have at least called it the right thing. And that made me so angry, because obviously black women have been wearing cornrows for endless time.
And then
And
And
men, sorry.
men too.
I had them when I was 14.
I just feel like before something is considered cool, white people have to take it and kind of purify it before it's seen as cool, and it's not how it should be. And that's pretty much what cultural appropriation is. You know, it's a prominent culture or prominent people taking parts of our culture, and you know, we've been oppressed for so long. It shouldn't have to take them to make something that's cool. And I just feel like we're not celebrated for things that we've owned forever, or black people are innovators of so many things. We created things first, and we don't get the credit where it's due. And you can't pick and choose when you want to be black. You're either black or you're not, you know. No one shit goes down and then you're like nowhere to be found type thing. So it's not cultural sharing either, because we didn't even have the choice as to whether we wanted to be accustomed to Western customs. It was kind of like a coping mechanism. So it's definitely appropriated. Our culture's always appropriated. And we just got to continue celebrating our own stuff and like not letting it die out, passing it on to our generations.
So you don't think it's just an example of us experiencing cultural integration as black people into Western society?
I don't think so.
No,
especially if they're not even crediting it properly and calling it something else that it's not. I mean, assimilation is what we have had to do. Because we were forced. You know, we've had to survive in this world. So I don't really consider it. It's definitely just cultural appropriation.
If I may just add a little bit to the point that I have just raised, Fasika, the point of the notion of integrations. It was meant to be seen as a two-way interaction, but that isn't the case. When Australian or Americans, when they speak about integrations, they don't expect to take even the best out of you and say, this is an African culture, this is an African way of doing things, and this is something come from Africa. It's a wonderful thing. We can take it to the mainstream, and also we have to make sure that whatever these people have brought into this wonderful country or society is theirs. You either need to assimilate and accept, do what they want you to do, or they can take what's yours and they make it their own.
So Idil, growing up, was there ever a turning point for you where you began to embrace or fall in love with your blackness?
Yeah, well, you know, for me, I was born in Somalia, so I guess black was the norm for me over there, and, you know, I felt equal with everyone. And then when I came here, that was the first time I felt like people were seeing me as less than, and I think that obviously, you know, wounded me a lot, and, you know, there's quite a bit of trauma, because it was also not something that was openly done. It was invisible and obviously psychological. And I think it was during a workshop by this Mexican Muslim poet, you know, talking about that invisible discrimination and racism and what they have went through, you know, and how they empowered themselves. And I think that was the first time, and he introduced me to, you know, prominent African strong women, African American, African women who, you know, authors, poets. And I think that was the first time that I really felt like, you know, I had a right to be here and a right to be in my skin, and I felt really comfortable being in my skin.
That's great. So Kaiya, do you feel that you get along with black people more, regardless of their ethnicity?
I think subconsciously I do. Like, I agree with you, Idil. Something, to a certain degree, like something amazing happens when you go to Africa for the first time and you're surrounded by other black people coming out of, like, you know, a Western country. If you've grown up, you know, where Western, where white people is the norm, you go to Africa and you see other black people. It's really special thing. And I think when you are in a place like Australia and you go past, you know, another black person, that like little black kinship nod that you like, you know, you're subconsciously thinking, do I make the smile? Do I not make the smile? Like, you know, you're always.
And then you look and they're already smiling at you.
Yeah, so I think it just comes naturally. It's that I have a natural curiosity when I see another black person. I have a natural affiliation, and you know, I just think it's an amazing time to be, you know, black in this world. I think the Black Girl Magic movement that's happening is amazing. I love that. Like,
and I feel it's also like as some form of, you know, empowership as well, empowering each other, because we know our experience is not easy one. So it's like you're nodding to,
that's what the nod's about.
Yeah, I acknowledge you.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I see you walking through the
Absolutely.
same, experience.
Yeah.
absolutely.
What about you, Vanessa? Do you have any favourite black celebrities, or maybe a favourite black celebrity who's also a woman, as a black woman yourself?
This might sound cliche, but Beyonce. What do you mean next? Beyonce. Why don't you like Beyonce?
Because Beyonce's
We
mine.
love her. We love her.
She's what?
I said Beyonce's mine.
I just think she's the epitome of a strong black woman, and especially with her most recent album, Lemonade, there was just so many cultural references. It just, watching that album, I just felt proud to be a woman and proud to be a black woman.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So, Chris, what is your favourite thing about being black? Tell me.
Being single, I have to say, the attention from women.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, that's handy.
Alright. Vanessa, what about you? What's your
Black
favourite
don't
thing?
crack.
Black don't
The
crack.
fact that I know that I've got great genes, I'm going to be 100 and have amazing skin, the fact that I can change my hair as many times as I want, and just our resilience. Like, we're just such a powerful race.
Right. Yeah. Ring, what about you?
Of course, myself just being so dark and also just being so different. You tend to get this attention all the time, everywhere I go in the world, whether in Europe or in Asia or in even in Middle Eastern countries. And what I have discovered is the fact that every time I'm walking, not having an eye contact with somebody, I feel that all those people are staring at me. But every time I turn around, I see these people running away with their heads, basically. I don't know whether that is a positive thing or is a negative thing, why they're hiding their faces. But I feel so powerful. I mean, I'm a powerful figure, and I'm really happy in my skin. I don't care whether you really like me or you don't like me. I'm really happy with myself. And it's a wonderful thing to feel you're just in this position of being powerful. So I don't shy away from looking at people or even saying hello to them or talking to them, because I got that gesture of kindness and being approachable, being warm to people. And that's the way I am.
I love that.
Yes.
All right. Shola, what about you? What's your favourite thing?
Well, I think mine would be the sense of, I'm coming from two different black cultures, and like in each of those black cultures and every other black culture I've come into contact with, there's just like such a really strong sense of community. It's like every black person has this like massive family. 90% of them are freaking insane and do your head in, and like, most of the time you just wish they weren't there, but then you realize that like you've got such this vast network of people. Even if most of them, want to kill you, they're all there. And when kind of stuff gets real, it's a really big community thing. And you even take in people from like outside of your family. I mean, I've got like so many like adopted white relatives. It's just such a community-oriented culture that we have, and I think it's one of the most special things about us.
Right. Kaiya, what about you? What's your favourite thing about being black?
Yeah, I have to agree with Shola. Having mad nut family, we can be like, going through real stuff, but at the end of the day, we're still laughing, still, acting wild, but laughing at the same time.
Oh, that's great.
So,
Idil, what about you? What's your favourite thing?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Shola and Kaiya as well, and also Vanessa. I think that sense of community, responsibility for each other. I think that strong culture. Yeah. And also, not aging. I know it's
stay young forever.
Yeah, we're going down with the girl.
You don't get skin wrinkle, don't you?
Absolutely. And also what Ring said, I'm an artist, and you kind of like to want to have that age, and it feels like I already have it. I don't have to try and be different, It's already there, and it's cool, and I love it. Yeah. Right.
So Vanessa, what are some of the craziest or weirdest things people from other races have asked you in regards to you being black?
I think it would definitely have to be my hair. The amount of times I have people asking, can I touch your hair? Or they will just touch it. And I often get asked if I wash my hair. One day I was asked at least 3 times, do you wash your hair? And I did say, no, I haven't washed my hair in over a year. And the expression she had on her face, she was just like, wow. But I feel like when they're asked that many times, that's the answer they want. Yeah. Like, obviously I wash my freaking hair. Yeah. So I think it's my hair. It's the most annoying for me.
Right. Anyone else? Ring, what about you?
I think mine, people might have just experienced things differently, but mine, I'm always asked about my skin texture.
Texture?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's so smooth and things like that. And,
I get that too.
and that's what they've been talking about. But also, our teeth whiteness as well. That's something that amazes a lot of people. It's like, oh, I mean, you guys might have something really special that you guys brush your teeth. But they don't understand that we use the same product that everybody else used. Or maybe we're just being so lucky to have our teeth white.
It's just contrast.
It's just contrast.
It is. That's what I was
contrast.
about to say. It's
Yeah.
contrast as well.
I hate it when you go to get like your makeup done professionally or something, and the makeup artist always says, "Oh my God, your beautiful dark skin. Let's put orange on you."
No, I was in the store and I was like trying on like a jumper, and it was like a white jumper, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about it. She's like, no, I think it really goes nice with the tan, the tan skin. I was like, love, I've never had a tan in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, speaking of tents.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes. I mean, quite often, obviously, because I live next to Bondi, I always get, do I wear sunscreen? Do I feel the need to wear sunscreen? So.
Do you?
No.
Do black people get sunburned?
Yeah.
One that I really love, and guys, you might be able to help me out on this, is when people come up and just assume that you're selling drugs.
Oh.
So they're like, so do you have like, well, seriously, it happens like, at least once a month when I go out, someone's like looking at me and I'm like, hey, they're like, hey.
That was the opposite. I had someone offer me drugs.
Oh yeah, I get offered drugs all the time too. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten the twerking?
I've gotten the twerking.
Twerking.
Like, how does it go? I'm like, I don't know.
Or when you're sitting in class and they bring up black topics, and then everyone's like, "So Kaiya, do you have any thoughts on this?" I'm like, I'm the only black person in the class.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for, and that wraps up this season of Say It Loud. A big special thank you to Arcana Studios and African Social. Thank you to the panel, and thank you to the Say It Loud team. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms at Say It Loud Show, and thank you for joining us this season. Now we're going to have a special performance from Price Johnson.
You should be stronger than me. You've been here 7 years longer than me. Don't you know you're supposed to be the man? A pale comparison to who you think I am. You always wanna talk it through. I don't care, and I always gotta comfort you when I'm there. But that's what I need you to do. Stroke my hair. I've forgotten all of young love story. Feel like a lady, and you my lady boy. Said you should be stronger than me. But you're longer than frozen turkey. Why you always put me in control? All I need is for my man to live up to his role. You always wanna talk it through. I don't care, and I always gotta comfort you every day. But that's what I need might take a moment. It might take a day. It might take a new thing for you to look my way. It might take a moment, a very special thing. It might take a moment for you to look my way. Don't you know? Don't you see? Don't you know that I only have eyes for you? Don't you know? Don't you see? Don't you know that I only have eyes for you? For you, yeah. Posting photos on my walls like you're part of me. Damn, I don't even know that freaking part of me. Are you really gonna tell me you were proud of me? Where were you when I needed somebody next to me? Lyrically, emotionally, physically, financially. Oh, please, I understand you were probably high on speed. It might take a moment. It might take a day. It might take a new thing for you to look my way. It might take a moment, a very special day. It might take a new thing for you to look my way. But don't you know? Don't you see, baby? Don't you know I only have eyes for you? Don't you know? Don't you see? No, I only have eyes for you. For you. Yeah. Public, excuse me if I'm coming out too rude. I never wanna play that toxic fool. Let anything slide by like we usually do. Let anything go like it is April Fool. Communication is a game. I don't know your name, but you walking out of your lane, boy. Walking out of your lane, boy. It might take a moment. It might take a day. It might take a new thing for you to look my way. It might take a new thing, a very special day. It might take a moment for you to look